The circus that is American politics continues. Donald Trump has joined TikTok, that Chinese-owned and controlled platform that he once tried to ban.
The president is now on TikTok. It's my honor.
Oh boy, it's going to be a long 5 months until Election Day, isn't it? A little earlier, I asked Kristin Tate to tell us about the US reaction to Donald Trump's conviction.
Well, that depends who you ask, Chris. If you talk to conservatives, they're absolutely disgusted. They think this country is practically finished, at least our political system, and that the justice the idea of justice in this country is a sham. However, if you talk to liberals, they think that this is all wonderful and justice is blind and Donald Trump is being held accountable for his crimes just like everybody else. So what has happened here is essentially hardening the resolve of both sides. But conservatives are absolutely furious.
Yeah, now I showed on the program last night a couple of instances where the President, Joe Biden, seemed a bit confused and not knowing what to say in response to this conviction. But I want to show tonight some straightforward comments he made, some clear comments he made, and he tried to stay above the fracas, if you like, and say that people should rely on the American judicial system. Here's the President.
And it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
Yeah, clear warning to Donald Trump and his supporters there for complaining about this verdict, Kristin. The thing that worries me, I suppose, is that on all the evidence and all the interpretation we've had from legal experts, this is the sort of conviction that would not bring a custodial sentence. There would be a fine. You would not go to jail. What will happen
That's right.
if they do sentence Donald Trump to jail?
Oh, I mean, the district attorney in this case, Alvin Bragg, has made it very clear that's what they're after. They would love to put Donald Trump in jail, even though, as you mentioned, the typical sort of penalty for this kind of crime is not jail time. But this is what the liberals have been after the whole time. Putting him in jail would be what they would love the most. But hey, even if they don't put him in jail, Chris, this is still a win for them. They have changed the narrative of this election. We are not talking about Joe Biden's abysmal record or the fact that the president of the United States can't even get through a coherent sentence of the English language. Instead, Joe Biden is going to sit back and do the basement strategy that he did last time around, while he hopes the country will be talking about how Trump is a convicted felon. You know, you watch any of the mainstream news outlets now, and these smug broadcasters can't even contain their disgusting grins as they call Donald Trump a convicted felon. The whole thing is just so infuriating. But I'll tell you, I think it might backfire on the left, Chris, because this is going to turn out conservatives and Republican voters in droves, even the never Trumpers, even the squishy Republicans. They are disgusted by what has happened here, and they will go out and cast their votes for Donald Trump because of this, to send a message.
Well, let's talk about Joe Biden. As you mentioned, he might want to try and run the basement strategy again. That is, be very, very seldomly in front of the public, in front of the media, not saying much. He's doing that already. I just want to show you and show our viewers this clip from his press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, explaining why the president essentially did nothing yesterday.
Can you share what he did today? We didn't see him all day. There was no schedule of what he did.
I don't have anything to share with you and what I can say is the president, as you know, he made some calls. He called the newly elected Mexico president.
That was his day's work, Kristin. He called the new president of Mexico.
Everybody knows exactly what's going on here. Even Biden supporters, Chris, they all know that he can't do this job. He physically and mentally cannot do this job. And they're not even trying to hide it anymore. The administration's not even trying. So what they're going to attempt to do instead is, again, just kind of push him away into the basement and point at Donald Trump and say, look at that big, mean, orange, no good, bad man over there. He's an insurrectionist and a domestic terrorist. Go vote against him, because if you don't, democracy is dead. That is the strategy. And it's all they've got. Again, I guess the black swan event could be if they pull Biden out at the last minute and swap him out with someone else. But assuming they don't do that.
I still reckon it's on. We won't know. We won't know till August, but I still reckon that's a play for them. In the meantime, though, Hunter Biden is finally facing some criminal justice over firearms charges. And Joe Biden's put out a statement with his wife. He says that he's the president. He's also a dad to Jill and he love their son and they're proud of the man he is today. What we know about Hunter Biden, it's hard to be proud of the man he's turned into. But anyway, he's going to face justice. I'm just interested to get a sense from you, Kristin, how much news this is making in the US, and are any people making the connections, not just from this criminal charge, but also all the allegations of Joe Biden's knowledge of Hunter Biden's business interests and the rest of it?
Of course, the media is completely ignoring this story about Hunter Biden, as they have been since the last election, since the laptop story was suppressed. And Americans have no idea of the facts surrounding Hunter Biden's lawlessness, or particularly Joe Biden's involvement in it. But I'll tell you, Chris, when you talk to everyday voters and you lay out those facts in ways that are easy to understand, people are horrified by it, especially when you juxtapose it with what's happening to Donald Trump. It is obvious we have a two-tier justice system in this country, and everybody understands that now.
Great to talk to you again, Kristin, all over what is a crazy American political system just at the moment.
Thank you very much, Chris.